You. What's up, y'all? Tell like it is TV, man. Let's talk about it, y'all. So first of all, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to donate. The links is in the description box. If not, that's cool. The like button is, that's right, niggas. The like button is free. All right, man. So let's get into the situation, man. We're gonna talk a little politics real quick. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a good old Sunday. What a way to begin the week off. The Steelers is not playing this week, so you know, who cares about the NFL? Now I'm gonna watch some games today, but yeah, don't ain't nothing popping if the Steelers ain't playing. So you know, whatever. I can go past some football and knock out some videos real quick. But anyway, so I'm gonna do a few videos today, the things that I wanted to talk about. But let's start it off with the politics, man. So at the end of the day, you know, it's been a big thing going on about Donald Trump putting ICE and raid or putting military forces and shit out there in certain cities. I think it started with Washington D.C. if I'm not mistaken. They went out to Chicago, they went to Memphis, and you know now it's been a big thing of them going out there in Portland. And like I said, when it comes down to you know all this illegal immigration that's been going on, unfortunately, for niggas, y'all niggas know. This is why I don't understand why niggas is making a big deal about a lot of this shit because y'all know that these motherfuckers likely 9.5% of the time out of 10, they're going to be in black communities. I mean, it just is what it is. They're going to be in the urban communities. So if you're going to be seeing these kind of things going on in your city, you know, as long as you ain't doing nothing and you flying on the right, you know, it is what it is. But if you out there doing dirt, you out there, you're gonna have to stand off the block for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Until this shit boil over, you know what I mean? Don't get y'all ass up here, motherfucker, getting yourself caught up in shit because you being dumb at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But I told y'all a lot of with this whole Trump situation, they're gonna be doing a lot of mass deportation and you know that's gonna open up a lot of things for niggas at the end of the day. I mean, just Americans in general. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these companies is out here hiring in illegals and you know making them work for. This is why a lot of the times we can't get good paying jobs because they'll just have somebody who don't speak no fucking English that'll work for dirt cheap. You know what I'm saying? And you know they look at a motherfucker like you like, oh, well, this motherfucker think he all that. He think he this. He think he that. No, I just want to get paid what the fuck I deserve. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that simple. You know what I mean? But anyway, so let's get into this first video real quick. So this first video, this man is a truck driver. You know what I'm saying? And with a lot of the mass deportations and stuff like that that's going on, it's opening up a lot of great jobs for the American people. You know what I'm saying? That's something I definitely got to salute Donald Trump on. You know what I mean? But anyway, let this video play real quick.
Y'all, I'm a truck driver, right? Let me tell you the effects of Donald Trump. This company called me begging me to work for them because they couldn't find drivers anymore. Why couldn't they find drivers? Because Donald Trump instituted that you must speak English in order to hold a CDL.
Now, I ain't gonna sit up and hold you. Now, some of y'all might be like, "Oh, tell like this TV. You sounding like a Republican. You sounding like a conservative, bruh." You know how many times I have motherfuckers come to my job that speak a lick of English, bro? It's honestly it's infuriating. You know what I'm saying? Because they end up getting mad at you. It's like, nigga, I don't know what you saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm not being rude. I just don't know what the fuck you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And then you're getting upset with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, motherfucker, you need to go to somebody that actually speaks Spanish or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck you trying to say, dog. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, let me let this keep going, though. But I agree. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that there should be anybody in fucking America speaking a different language at the end of the day. Like, if you're going to come to America, dog, you need to be understanding and know how to speak. I don't give a fuck if it's broken English. At least speak some of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is.
That means people who are natural born Americans, people who have been here for centuries, who built the country, now we get opportunities that all these foreigners would get. Say what you want to about Trump. I'm not saying he's not racist, but what he's doing positively affects me. Now the jobs that were going to illegal immigrants, that they were working for pennies on the dollar, now it goes to a natural born, full-blooded American.
And that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's no shade and no hate towards any race of people at the end of the day. But fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody be giving a fuck when we out here getting our backs kicked in and shit like that. Fuck that, dog. Niggas been motherfucking, holding up this morale personnel for a long time, and that shit ain't be getting stepped over and stepped on. Know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, my main thing about Donald Trump and shit like that when it comes, because like I said, Donald Trump and them, they be playing politics and shit like that, and this is why I don't understand sometimes why, that's why I don't like the far right a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't keep it real on nothing, and neither can the far left. You know what I'm saying? So, I respect regular Democrats and I respect regular Republicans because there is things that we both can agree on. Whether we agree to disagree or whether there's things that we actually do agree on. You know what I'm saying? And there's obviously going to be things that we might disagree on. All right. But at the end of the day, I think that we can all look at it as a form of, hey, man, listen, as long as it's going to help out the American people, that's all that really matters first. You know what I'm saying? All this taking care of this country, take care of that country, take care of this country. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? That country can take care of their goddamn self. You know what I mean? Straight up and down. But anyway, let's come over here real quick. So this is one of the a dude from Memphis.
Is a totally different place right
now. Let me come right here real quick. Because a lot of y'all, especially content creators, I'm going to say content creators and media, y'all running around here using this fear propaganda to a certain degree to where it's making it seem as if, oh, man, Donald Trump racist, man. He putting these places, and he putting the ICE and all that shit in the black neighborhoods. Listen, bro, when they doing a kind of mass deportation like that, listen, nigga, they ain't coming through to be nice. You know what I'm saying? ICE is not coming through to be nice. They here to grab niggas up and send niggas back home. You know what I'm saying? And for all you dumb niggas out here, man, I'm telling you, man, they're gonna get black people next. Man, unless your ass is an African and you just got over here, or you a Jamaican and you just got over here, or you a Haitian and you just got over here, yeah, your black ass might get deported. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to laugh at that, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I can see motherfuckers that's complaining in that aspect, you know what I'm saying? But as far as an ancient American, nigga, we ain't going nowhere, dog. They ain't deporting us not of nowhere, not no how, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucking a European will get his ass shipped up out of here before my black ass gets shipped up out of here, before your black ass gets shipped up out of here, you know what I'm saying? That's just how that shit works, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's let this brother give his testimony real quick.
From Memphis, when I tell you, Memphis is a totally different place right now. For real. I did not know that President Trump was sending them guys down there. And when I say it's police everywhere.
And one thing niggas gonna do, niggas gonna respect the police straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? Now, we might have our grievances and shit like that with the police. You know what I'm saying? We might have our grievances with the police. But at the end of the day, niggas gonna respect that. Niggas gonna respect that shit at the end of the day. The police out there, motherfucking 24/7 or riding up and down the street, that's gonna get niggas' attention every goddamn time. So a nigga gonna be on his best behavior. Niggas ain't gonna be slanging on the block like that. Hold on. They go 12 right there. Niggas ain't gonna be doing too much spinning, know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be too much spinning when the police are already active out there, know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But like I said, they ain't, as long as you niggas is staying in clear, you know what I'm saying? Y'all in the good, you know what I'm saying? They not after y'all. They after, they after these illegals at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So, you get your ass out there and motherfucking, like I said, it is what it is. I'm gonna let the video keep going.
For real though. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I ain't never seen Memphis like this before. Because I go down there and drop off a load at the hospital. You see your normal scragglies, whatever. You know what I mean? Hospital, I don't know why hospital's always a place where they won't hang out at, but it is what it is. But traffic was different. Police is on every corner. I'm like, yo.
And Memphis is one of the highest, murder rates and shit in the country. You know what I'm saying? So for people that's saying, "Oh man, Donald Trump is a racist man," I mean, actually, the nigga low key saving niggas' lives out there in Memphis. I'm just gonna keep it a dollar bean with y'all. I know y'all niggas don't want to hear that shit, but hey, listen, if the police outside, guess what? Ain't no niggas gonna be getting shot. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of a lot of the crime niggas out there in Tennessee and all that getting their head blown off and everybody spinning on the ops. You know, Trump low key saving some of you niggas' lives at the end of the day. Because some of you niggas would have been dead last week. You know what I'm saying? Had the ops catch y'all niggas. You know what I mean? We just got to be real about that. All right? So let this keep going.
I'm thinking that they was gonna send them guys to Chicago. I know. See, I don't go to Chicago, so I wouldn't know that anyway.
And that's another place he sent them to, Chicago. You know what I'm saying? You got all this crime going out there in Chicago. Now, some of that is now always niggas. I know, you know, niggas get looped up in that shit. It is what it is. Now, all of that shit is niggas at the end of the day. It's just a lot of crime in Chicago in general, all right? But at the end of the day, crime has also went down out there in Chicago as well. Now, you're going to have, you know, things happen. It is what it is. Crime is going to be crime regardless. So crime will still be committed. But as far as the massive murders and you know, like I said, a lot of the times that's niggas dying. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of niggas is getting their lives saved at the end of the day. Innocent babies and shit, and innocent people that ain't got shit to do with it because the nigga don't know how to hit his target. He done fucked around, killed somebody's grandma and shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me let this shit keep going.
But boy, Memphis, boy, I know they people's like, yes, crime is slowed down. I mean, they look like a totally different city right now. The vibes are different. I don't know. I guess it's just me, man, but Memphis changing for the good, y'all. As they should. The people need that, though. The people need to stop all this riffraff and all this craziness these young kids got going on, man. Scared to leave your house, scared to go to the grocery store, scared to go to the gas station. One time, I wouldn't even go to certain gas stations if I see too many of them out there. For real, I keep it pushing. I wouldn't give a damn if I'm about to run out of gas. I'm going to keep it pushing. So, right now, it's a totally different breed down there right now, boy. I mean, I'm talking about the whole boatload is down there. Police everywhere, boy. You know what I'm saying? So I know the people like, yo, we needed this. And I agree with them.
All right. And not only that, when he sent them out there to D.C., a lot of people was out here complaining about, oh, man, they sent them out here to these black communities. Bro, if they're going to be doing this shit at the end of the day, nigga, where you think they're going to go? They're going to go to the urban areas. This is where the high crime is happening at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just logic at the end of the day. They're going to come there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the high crime and niggas shooting and shit like that is not happening in the suburbs. It's not happening in these areas like that. I'm not saying that crime doesn't happen in, you know, the suburbs or well-to-do off areas. You know, it definitely can happen, but it's not as high. And then, like I said, the illegal immigration is not as high as well in these particular areas. If somebody is somebody that's not from America, whatever the case may be, they're already kind of established, whatever the case may be. These people that's illegal, that's just got over here or whatever the case may be, they're going to be in the urban areas, okay? They're going to be in these areas. So when they do these operations and shit like that, that's just what it's going to be, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But anyway, come over here real quick. Now, this is a lady right here in Chicago, okay?
Internet need to stop lying.
All right. So this is a lady right here in Chicago. This is not Tell Like It Is TV up here, motherfucking caping for Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, there's things with Donald Trump where I can agree with. There's things with Donald Trump I think he's full of shit about. You know what I'm saying? But we can agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? And I still would rather have Donald Trump in the office over goddamn Kamala and sleeping ass Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? Or goddamn Hillary Clinton. I mean Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying? I mean Hillary Clinton. My bad. But anyway.
Chicago, you need to stop lying and saying, and people on this internet need to stop lying and saying that they're coming for black people. Yes, there was a building in a black community that was not majority black because it had been overran by illegal gang bangers. Let's be clear.
All right, and if for those of y'all that remember that, because like I said, I remember that, and for those that follow my channel, y'all should remember that because we did videos about the shit when the whole ass nigga Joe Biden was letting all these motherfuckers in here. They started going over into black areas and damn near running the guy. People thought that shit was fake. Like I think it happened out there in Colorado, but it also was happening in Chicago as well. You know what I'm saying? They was running around there. These illegal gangs was running around here terrorizing the black community, straight up and down. But did big mainstream media get their ass out here and talk about these goddamn illegals that Joe Biden been out here letting into the goddamn country, terrorizing the black community? No. What they got you niggas to get out here? Well, Kamala Harris is black, and y'all should vote for Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris is black, and she like collard greens, and she like jazz music. And Joe Biden was everything to do, sitting down with folks, eating chicken and shit like that. Know what I'm saying? Like, man, get them niggas up out of there. I'm so happy they lost, dog. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like I could retire from doing politic videos now. You know what I mean? I low-key feel like that. I put my work in, you know what I'm saying? I put my work in and I showed you niggas the light, you know what I'm saying? I put my work in. Tell like, why you don't do too many politic videos no more? Look, man, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I did my job, dog. I did my job, dog, straight up and down, you know what I'm saying? I've been at it for a long time, and, shit, I can rest. I told y'all niggas what time it was going to happen. I told you niggas they was going to be out here trying to cause the race war and pushing agendas and shit like that when Trump got in there. I told y'all they were going to do all this shit. That's why I don't really like to do it anymore, because I just feel like I'm repeating myself again, you know what I'm saying? Because I told y'all niggas, protect y'all energy, live y'all life, do what y'all got to do, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about this shit going on in mainstream media, because let them niggas tell it World War III tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Let them niggas tell it niggas getting drafted tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Let them niggas tell it a new disease gonna kill everybody and take everybody out, you know what I'm saying? Let these folks tell you they're gonna keep you in constant fear all the fucking time, you know what I'm saying? I don't live my life like that, you know what I'm saying? If whatever's gonna be, it's whatever the fuck is gonna be. That's it, you know what I'm saying? That's it. But anyway, let's let this woman keep going though. But I told y'all niggas about that shit, and Joe Biden and them niggas did not want to do nothing about it. Trump was telling Biden, hey man, you need to send these motherfuckers out there in Chicago. He refused to do it, okay, because he don't give a fuck about the black community. And then when the nigga Trump get in there and he decide, hey, you know what, I'm gonna be sending these folks in there to get rid of these illegals and get crime down. Oh, Trump is a racist. You know what I'm saying? So a nigga a racist saving niggas' lives. I guess I'll take that form of racism then. But anyway.
So why everybody want to keep throwing that narrative around? Half of South Shore is fucking invaded by illegals. That's the truth. So don't get on here saying black people are being came for. They're coming because they're in our neighborhoods and our communities. That's why. So yes, they're going to go in buildings where black people live and sleep because they put them in buildings where black people live and sleep.
All right, and shout out to this black woman. You know what I'm saying? She fine too. Ooh wee, she fine. You know what I'm saying? But what makes her even more fine is the level of common sense that she has. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot. I ain't gonna say there's a lot, but some black women, dog, are so brainwashed by this fucking media, dog. It's like you can't even get through them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get through them for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And not all black women, ancient American women, but way too many. You know what I'm saying? Way too many. You know what I mean? But anyway, let this keep going.
South Shore, born and raised. I know what I'm talking about. Stop pushing that narrative because it's not correct.
Now, somebody will look at her and be like, oh, she's a uppity, she's a coon, she's a sellout, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. Look, like I said, man, y'all niggas need help. Y'all niggas need help, straight up and down. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all niggas need some real help. Y'all out here done got brainwashed. Y'all caught up in the matrix. You niggas is agents. You niggas is what they call that shit when they all was sitting at the computer hooked up. That's what you niggas is. You know what I'm saying? Some of you niggas is definitely in the matrix. You know what I mean?
So for those who was questioning about who I am and where I'm at, this is Adam Clayton Powell. This is the building that everyone is in an uproar about. So as I said, South Shore, this is your community, your neighborhood, and this building was not majority black when the ICE came the other day. Yes, black people were affected, but this building was overran by illegal Venezuelan gangs. And I just had several conversations with residents who are moving their stuff out of here that confirmed that. So stop letting media put that false narrative in your head that somebody coming for you, because they not. You was born here. You was born on this land. Rise up and stand up on something and stop letting any and every...
Right, and I agree with the sister. Shout out to the sister at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? She'll seem like she a little older than me, though. I ain't gonna sit up here and hold you. She might be like in her 40s or something. But, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her, though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the queen. Now, that's a queen. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all bitches running around here acting like y'all queens and shit like that. No. Y'all are bitches. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no goddamn, ain't a queen bone in your body. You know what I'm saying? Yo, carry yourself like no queen. None of that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But anyway, shout out to the sister at the end of the day. Shout out to the queen. You know what I mean? Giving that knowledge out here. Now, anyway, let's come over here real quick. So they was on CNN. You know, that's CNN, heavy Democrat. We know what's going on over there. But anyway, so with all this shit going on and, you know, the government shut down and everything like that, you know, the government pretty much got shut down because the Democrats pretty much wanted to give free Medicaid and Medicare to illegal immigrants, all right? And I think there was some kind of money that they still wanted to keep giving to the illegal immigrants. Now, as somebody that works their ass off, bro, that shit is bullshit, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna sit up here and hold you. And I don't get how people can really condone some shit like this. If you somebody who busts your ass, you work every day, and you can condone some shit like this, like, I don't get it. I do not get that shit to save my life. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. Tell Like It Is TV. If I get out here and if I don't have no fucking health care or some shit like that, and this is a true story. This actually happened. At the end of the year, I could be owing taxes because I don't not signed up for Medicare or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have health insurance, but I probably never went to the hospital at all that year. But somehow, some way, I owe the government money. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of shit does that make? But y'all niggas running around here shutting down government because you want to give a motherfucker that's not from the country free Medicaid and Medicare. You want to give it to him for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I owe you niggas money. Nah, that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when they have niggas up here, dog, speaking on this shit, it really grinds my gear. Like, let the mother folks get up there and say dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all black ass? Because y'all niggas want to be seen. Y'all want to be seen. That's what it is. Y'all niggas want to be seen. I need niggas to stop wanting to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. Y'all niggas ain't got to be on these folks' podcasts and platforms and TV shows and shit like that, man. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that shit, dog, because they going to have you up here looking like a goddamn fool. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Other debate.
Now, I don't own the right to this footage. Fair accuse. All right? Shout out to CNN. But anyway.
About who's going to get taxpayer-funded Medicaid in this country. That's what the memes are about. That's what the fight is about. Democrats want to make it about this subsidy issue. They don't run out to the end of the year, by the way. But the real thing is they filed legislation to repeal what the Republicans did this summer. And so these two issues have been conflated. But the fact is they don't just want the subsidies. They want other things. And the president is drawing attention to it, I think, in a pretty clever way. We just had a national emergency about telling jokes. I don't know why people can't take a joke. Medicaid is still not going to illegal immigrants, Scott. It is. It really does. It's not. It really does.
And it is. And for this woman to get up here and say this shit, somebody probably told her to deny that shit. Hey, nah, shut that down, because she works for CNN. And we know what it is. But that's a fucking lie. You know what I'm saying? They are totally, absolutely, positively going to illegals. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, people thought the whole food stamp thing of them getting money and giving it to... No, that was true. They was giving these motherfuckers all type of food stamps galore. You know what I'm saying? Like, you be so fucking surprised how much they was giving these illegal immigrants. Meanwhile, you can't even sign up for that shit. They be like, look, man, look, we got $100 for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They'll tell a motherfucker busting their ass and shit. Hey man, we got $100 for you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Illegal immigrant. Hey, listen, man, we got $500 to $600 dollars for you. You know what I'm saying? And we got cash for you too. On by the way, you know what I'm saying? If your black ass fell on hard times and lost your job and was homeless, and you went to these same people, they be like, look, man, we sorry to hear about that, man, but you know, we can give you some food stamps. You know, you might be able to file out for the shelter. You know what I'm saying? But illegal immigrant, they throwing niggas in hotels. And what I mean, like I said, there's classes of the immigration status. That's how I personally look at it, because not every illegal is going to be getting treated with the red carpet treatment. But some are, you know what I'm saying? Some are. They're getting treated way better than you. They come their ass over here, get put in hotels, you know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you got to clock in at a shelter somewhere, you know what I'm saying? You an American citizen, you know what I'm saying? They put them in hotels. They put them in goddamn Airbnbs. They giving them cash money, you know what I'm saying? Putting money on their debit cards and shit like that. Giving them food stamps, you know what I'm saying? Just setting them up for greatness. You know what I'm saying? Setting them up for success. Meanwhile, you can never get no shit like that. You could have never get no shit like that ever in the history of being a nigga in America. You could never get no shit like that. Everything you get and got, you gotta work for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. But anyway, Abby is out here, man. I mean, like I said, man, you know, it is what it is, dog. You know what I mean? They put niggas up here to, you know, I'm starting to think CNN just put niggas up here to say anything. I'm just going to be honest with y'all about that. And like I said, it doesn't make us look good at the end of the day. I'm just going to be honest. But anyway.
So
It does in several
not,
blue states.
Scott, no, it's not.
It really does.
Listen, the part of the bill that deals with the money that goes to states, it doesn't say anything about their immigration policy. So red state or blue state, those states are getting less money from the federal government. That still has to be dealt with. And that has nothing to do with immigration. And again, Medicaid does not go to undocumented immigrants. SNAP does not go to undocumented immigrants.
Lies. Now, out here in Massachusetts, we have the mayor out there, Michelle Wu, who has to be one of the worst, okay? One of the worst mayors of the history of Massachusetts. And don't get me started on goddamn the governor. Oh, my goodness. Don't get me started on Miss what's her name? I forgot her name. Lori or some shit, whatever this broad name is. One of the worst governors of all time, okay? In the history of politics in Massachusetts. I think personally I could have ran the government better than goddamn this broad. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. I have zero to do with politics. You know what I'm saying? But I could have ran this shit better than her. You know what I'm saying? This woman is whatever. But anyway, y'all know when they call all these governors, well, these mayors to these major cities, New York, Chicago, what was it, Colorado, and I think another one was, Boston, right? So they call all these governors in here, and they was questioning them about all the fucking spending that they were doing, okay? Yo, y'all motherfuckers is doing a lot of spending. What the fuck is going on over here? You know what I'm saying? This broad wasn't even asking these illegals for their information. She said, we don't even ask them. What? You don't even ask these folks, and you giving these folks thousands of dollars? You ain't getting no information on these folks. They could just show up, and you're just cashing out you're just giving out food stamps and giving out motherfucking cash? You know what I'm saying? You're just throwing these people in places you don't know where they come from, what they had to do, or if they committed some kind of crime or something before. You don't do none of that. You just, you illegal, you don't speak no English. Here's $5,000, sign up here. Matter of fact, we got $1,000 in food stamps for you. Sign right there, and the money's yours. They just giving this shit out. So this woman is lying up here saying that wasn't going on. It totally was going on in Massachusetts. I can say that for a fact. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's let this keep going.
CHIP does not go to undocumented immigrants.
It absolutely does.
I don't know. I mean, Scott, prove me wrong.
How many blue states?
Show me the law.
How many blue states? Mike Johnson showed it.
Scott, show me the U.S.
in a
code.
gigantic poster on.
All right, now, first of all, this is when you know a motherfucker just up here saying some bullshit. What you mean show you? Like, what do you mean show you some shit? First of all, we on TV. I can't just pull out my phone in the middle of the debate and show you some shit. You know what I'm saying? But like we're on air. I can't do no shit like that. But like I said, you want to do the research, all you gotta do is look it up. That's all you gotta do is look it up. You know what I'm saying? It is definitely out there.
Show me the U.S. code where it says that they're
It's
allowed to
easily
get
shown.
Medicaid funding.
I will
Where is it?
put it out on social media.
It
after
doesn't.
the show,
It doesn't
and I will be
exist.
right, and you
In
will be
fact, the
wrong.
law says
And I will be
exactly
right.
the opposite. So
They're trying to.
All right, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I just seen this tweet actually from this guy Scott. And if I'm not mistaken, he did post this shit on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, these people get up on TV and they say anything, and then they get their ass cooked at the end of the day. And then it's oh well they'll just start saying anything. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so it is what it is. Or they don't care like that. Or well, I mean, do you really fault them? I mean, they'll just start saying anything. With these kind of people, you can never really. It's no really debating these people. It's no really, because they don't really care about the truth. They don't give a fuck about the truth. They'll just move the fucking goalposts. You know what I'm saying? Every fucking time. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Heal what the Republicans
Scott,
did this summer.
Scott, that is a lie. Okay,
It is not.
Now you might want to dispute whether or not states should get reimbursed from the federal, or should get federal dollars.
But anyway, let me come up
For Medicaid at the levels that they got it before. That,
like I said, this woman over here is a goddamn airhead, and like I said, it is what it is, dog. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken,
Being taken into custody.
I'm not sure if she's an ancient American or not.
Just
but
last night.
it is what it is. But anyway, so this is the press secretary. You know what I'm saying? She got up here and talked about to my wrongful arrest in Portland. In Portland the other day. So let's get into this real quick.
Just last night, we saw an extremely troubling incident where conservative journalist Nick Sorter was captured on video being taken into custody by the Portland police after he was ambushed by Antifa and was defending himself from these assaults. But instead of
Now, I told y'all niggas about Antifa and these groups and shit like that back in 2020, all right? I've been covering this shit for a long time. We know what's going on over there in Portland. I'm not saying we know, but y'all know if y'all follow my channel, especially my original channel, that YouTube, it was so cold. YouTube they said, we can't let this nigga shine. Hell no, we got to take this shit down. This nigga too cold. We got to silence this nigga. Yeah. My shit was so cold, man. The government had to come for your boy. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I mean? But, we already know what's going on over there with Antifa and shit like that. This is pretty much a terrorist organization, allegedly, that goes around here terrorizing people who don't agree with their bullshit at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? This when they had them, tied them in zones and shit like that. They was zoning shit out. And I do believe that the police was in cahoots with this shit, in my personal opinion. Some higher ups was getting paid at the end of the day, and they were told to stand down on a lot of things out there in the city of Portland during the riots. Okay, this is why it pisses me off when these conservatives get out here and talk about this shit going on with Charlie Kirk. Not to really jump off the subject real quick, but I gotta make this point since I'm on it. These niggas that get up here and talk about, oh, well, you see, when Charlie Kirk got killed, wasn't nobody rioting in the street because there wasn't no fucking design to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? The reason why that shit happened with the George Floyd shit, yes, niggas was pissed, niggas feeling some type of way, yes, niggas was protesting, but all that damaging and doing all this shit, no, that was created chaos from these goddamn groups and organizations within higher levels of the fucking government funding these folks, you know what I'm saying, to do this shit, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So anyway, let me get back into this, and let's get into this situation when it comes down to this woman up here.
arresting these violent mob members night after night after night who are ravaging this community, the police arrested a journalist who was there trying to document the chaos, and everyone in this room should be extremely concerned about that. The Department of Justice spoke with that journalist this morning, and they will be launching a full investigation into his arrest.
All right, now listen, I don't know. Maybe they thought he wasn't illegal. Hey, look, man, that's how cold ICE is and the police and shit is out there right now, bro. They sweeping up everybody. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, they sweeping up everybody. So, like I said, niggas, y'all better stand clear. You see these niggas out here like I said, most niggas anyway. If we see a bunch of police out, we might be looking like, all right. As soon as we see that, oh, niggas ain't playing. They really out here sweeping shit. We going back in the crib, dog. We ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's either we gonna get it. Somebody gonna die out this situation, or we going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. So let me go ahead and let me get out these folks' way and let them folks do what they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Y'all niggas better breathe easy. You know what I'm saying? And you better not be your black asses better not be a part of none of these Antifa groups and shit like that, because your ass is definitely going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Bob and them, they might get a slap on the wrist. Your black ass, you going to jail, nigga. So, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You better stand clear, you know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. That'd be my message to any dumb nigga that's a part of one of these organizations and groups, you know what I'm saying? You better stand clear when they get the sweeping shit at the end of the day, because the street sweepers is on the block, you know what I'm saying? The street sweepers is on the block, and they listen, they getting reporters, you know what I'm saying? They get niggas, they getting illegals, they getting white folks, you know what I'm saying? Everybody getting mowed down right now, you know what I mean? So it is what it is.
This incident is part of a troubling trend in Portland where left-wing mobs believe they get to decide who can visit and live in their city. It is not their city. It is the American people's city, and President Trump is going to restore that. I just spoke with the president about this, and he has directed his team here at the White House to begin reviewing aid that can potentially be cut in Portland. We will not fund states that allow anarchy. There will also be an additional surge of federal resources to Portland immediately, including enhanced CBP and ICE resources.
All right. So you see how that shit goes. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker don't start motherfucking, buying by them rules. Trump out here cutting niggas bread and shit. Like, hey, well, okay, y'all niggas ain't really, okay, y'all niggas still want to be on that bullshit? Okay, I got you, fam. We cutting funding on here. We cutting funding on. And that's when they get the screaming and hollering and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they try to squeeze black folks into they mumbo jumbo bullshit agendas that they trying to see. And Donald Trump, see, I told y'all Donald Trump a racist, right? Donald Trump is a racist. I'm telling y'all, man, Donald Trump. Just like, the media and certain parts of the media trying to drag black folks into this Charlie Kirk shit. We ain't got nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how this shit. Charlie Kirk done said a gang of foul shit about black folks. You know what I'm saying? We don't care that nigga died. I'm just going to be honest. We don't care that the man died. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I don't know why niggas is celebrating him dying. I don't condone that. But we don't care about it. And somehow, some way, we're being like spent into this Charlie Kirk shit. Well, when Charlie Kirk died, it wasn't a bunch of protests and then people rioting in the streets like it was for George Floyd. Like, what the fuck we gotta do with that shit? Why are we catching strays for it? And then we supposed to feel bad for a nigga who been talking hella fire shit before he motherfucking got his, he blew up or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. Y'all know how I feel about that Charlie Kirk shit. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I was just having this debate with somebody at my job and shit. They swear up and down the Democrats had something to do with that shit. I'm like, this nigga is fucking retarded, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Some people can be so smart, they retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is definitely one of them type of dudes. You know what I'm saying? Nigga so brilliant, he dumb as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Law and order will.
Let's come over here real quick. So this is one of these it's one of these fuck around, find out kind of moments right here, all right? So this is out here in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? So the ICE agent out here standing on business, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, ICE out here standing on business. They put niggas on the shelf. ICE is putting niggas on ice, dog. I ain't gonna sit up here hosing, so y'all better don't get out here fucking around with these folks, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna feel bad for your black ass. You up here antagonizing ICE members, ICE members and shit like that. And them niggas get the putting hands on your ass. I ain't trying to hear it, dog. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how these folks get down. I ain't about to be playing with them, you know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead and get up out your way, fam. Nah, but this dude right here, he ain't an ancient American or nothing, but he thought it'd be cool to get out here and want to play reindeer games. You know what I'm saying? He thought ICE was out there for play. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas is out here to stand on business. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get into it. Now, you see that this man, first of all, he's approaching this ICE member with his hands behind his back, like he's like I don't know if he got a gun. I don't know what he got in his pocket, but he's going in the back of his pants like he about to scratch all up in the crack of his ass. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as somebody who's the ICE member right here, I gotta take this man serious because I don't know what he's getting ready to pull out. He could be pulling out a gun. He could be pulling out a knife. Anything. Okay. So the man told this man step back. All right.
Step back. I'm on a public floor.
Now, dude thought I'm on a public floor right now. I am. Dude turned that gun back. Once he turned that gun back, you already know he was ready to stand on some business. He ready to step on some shit at the end of the day. It is what it is. You know what I mean?
He's not doing anything.
What you mean he not doing anything? He acting like he wants smoke. That's what he doing. You know what I'm saying? The man acting like he wants some smoke, so he got it.
You're seeing that.
Now she out here talking about he wasn't doing anything. Yeah, he was. He was approaching this man, acting like he wanted all the smoke and acting like he had something in the back of his goddamn jeans and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I wouldn't even told him to back up. I'd have been like, yo, bro, if you're gonna be talking to me, dog, put your hands on your side. What's all this reaching behind you and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? I would have choked him out just off that alone. I wouldn't even ask him no questions. I would have just wrapped his ass up. Immediately, you know what I'm saying? I would have dealt with the threat immediately, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. See, this is why I couldn't be no ICE member, no none of that, because Tell Like It Is TV, listen, man, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be me or you, dog, you know what I'm saying? That's how I give it up, you know what I'm saying? Especially in a situation where I'm coming into somewhere where I have to be on my P's and Q's. Listen, it's going to be me or you. I ain't got time to be asking no questions, you know what I'm saying? What is that behind your back, nigga, pull out some shit, stab me in the neck? I ain't got time for that, you know what I'm saying? I would have already done wrap dude up. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's why I tell you I couldn't be no police officer. I couldn't be doing none of that. Salute to those guys that can and that can hold their composure on shit. You know what I'm saying? Because me, like I said, the immediate threat, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to step on some shit. I'm standing on business. But yeah, everything was all good and shit like that. Minute ICE get the working this nigga out. Now all of a sudden, oh, he wasn't even doing nothing. Yes, he was. And you should have told this nigga to chill. You know what I'm saying?
He's not doing anything.
You need to stand over there.
No, he's not. I'm gonna stand right here. He's not doing.
All right, be back. So yeah, I ended off pretty much at the end. You know, hey, listen. Like I said, y'all see ICE and shit out there. Y'all niggas better stand clear. You know what I mean? Straight up and down. Get y'all ass in the crib. Y'all better be all this hooping and hollering and shit like that. Think you gonna be out here defending folks and shit like that? Nah, they ain't got time to play with you. You know what I'm saying? And so don't even take your chances on that. Go on ahead. This is a fight that you just gonna have to go ahead and sit this one out. You know what I'm saying? Niggas always trying to get in and protect somebody and shit like that. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, them folks ain't out here protecting you. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, they trying to take your shit over at the end of the day. But anyway, let's get into this shit. So like I said, they have these niggas on CNN get up here and say some of the most wildest, craziest, dumbest shit of all time. And like I said, it just makes niggas look bad, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And like I said, CNN do this shit on purpose. You know what I mean? On purpose. You know what I mean? Because like I said, a lot of these people that they get up here and talk on these cameras, these people don't even live in these areas. They probably never even been around these areas, probably never even grown up in these areas. Never, you know, they probably been suburb kids their whole fucking life. You know what I'm saying? But they get up on TV and think that they could just tell niggas because, you know, they got some form of degree or some shit that they just speak for all niggas and shit like that. Wrong. Okay? And like I said, all the time they get dumb niggas up here just saying dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get into this. Fair accuse. And once again, dude Scott up here, he just be cooking these dudes at the end of the day. I feel like they just bring this, you know, they bring niggas up here to let this white man slaughter these dudes every fucking time. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, notice how it's a gang of niggas in the CNN panel, and there's one white man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I said, CNN know what the fuck they doing. But anyway, let's let this play.
They were all black. And I'm going to say something. We saw this coming. We knew the neighborhoods where these ICE raids would take place. We knew that a lot of these things wouldn't happen in Beverly Hills or in Coconut Grove or any of those places like that.
Of course, they're not gonna happen in Beverly Hills or any of that shit. Like that's what I'm saying. Like these people get up here and say the most dumbest shit. Of course, they're not gonna be in Beverly Hills or any of the suburbs because that's not where they're being transported to. They're being transported to the black communities, to the urban areas. This is where they're being funneled through. This is where they're going. You know what I mean? So like I said, like this dude. Whatever, man. Whatever. Let me let this motherfucker keep going, though.
We knew that there would be collateral damage, that there would be trauma that would be inflicted on our communities. We knew that people would be detained, scared. We knew that children would have to see things that they shouldn't have to see. And all of this for political theater so that we look tough on immigration for everyone. It's a horror show. And I do think if it hasn't already happened, that it'll be something that even the most conservative of Americans will get tired of seeing human beings treated this way. At least that's my hope.
One neighbor said the kids were crying. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner because they were bringing kids down too, had them zip tied to each other, saying that there were trucks, military-style vans used to separate adults from kids.
Well, one detail that's been left out is that they were targeting Tren de Aragua. And so Tren de Aragua is a violent transnational gang. They send illegal immigrants here to the United States. They traffic drugs. They traffic people. They commit violence. They inflict misery everywhere they go. And 37 people were arrested. That was the purpose of the raid, the targeting of Tren de Aragua.
All right. So look, as you see, this emotional ass nigga over here, acting like a goddamn broad and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Whining and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, he telling you the truth, fam. At the end of the day, like I said, this is what they were doing in these, especially in these democratic fucking areas where they allow all this immigration to go on in, okay? This is the shit that was going on, dog. Like, what are you talking about? What are you sucking your teeth like a bitch for? You know what I'm saying? Breathing all hard and sighing and shit. Nigga, shut your dumb ass up. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let the snowman cook real quick.
Most violent people in our hemisphere, and when they come here, nothing good happens. That was
Okay, so if it was targeting, when you clear out an apartment building and you zip tie children and you arrest and detain everyone, Scott, hold on, Scott. You and me, we're talking here, okay? If they arrest children, they arrest everyone, citizens and non-citizens, for hours, detain them, deprive them of their liberty, for no matter how long. You are fine with that.
They didn't arrest children, but
I didn't say they arrested them. They put them in zip ties. But if that makes a difference to you, go ahead.
here's what makes a difference to me. If the federal government knows that there is a nest of Tren de Aragua in a city like Chicago, they have a responsibility. They have an obligation to go get them. It is unfortunate, to answer your question, that there are children put in harm's way by these violent gangs. But that is going to be the reality.
Is it unfortunate or is it a violation of their rights, is the question.
Listen, bro. At the end of the day, you know, they going up there and they grabbing any and everybody, dog. Like I said, you know, is it unfortunate? Do they have to go to the extent of zip tying kids together? No, I think that is a little excessive. I ain't gonna sit up and hold you, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you see that they niggas. Like, all right, bro, there's no really need to, you know, zip tie these little black kids and shit like that. The people that we're looking for, they're obviously a Venezuelan gang. And, you know, so this is more what we're kind of looking for. But, you know, at the end of the day, if they out here capturing these motherfuckers and they're doing their job, unfortunately, yes, may some niggas get nabbed up or some shit like that. You know, that's very unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? You know, based on some shit that they didn't do or do anything wrong. So yeah, that could be, you know, definitely unfortunate. But if they're out there actively cleaning out that particular building, and, you know, like I said, when a raid happens, bro, they don't give a fuck what's going on. For any of y'all that ever been involved in a raid, they don't give a fuck if your grandma was in that house. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's getting laid the fuck down, straight up and down. They're destroying everything in the house. They're running through everything, and everybody is getting laid the fuck down. Kids, baby, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's for people that's ever been involved in a raid before. If you're not, then, you know, look up a raid, look up the fucking protocol of a raid. You know what I'm saying? Because any raid that I've ever been a part of, nigga, they laying everybody down. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck if you innocent. You ain't got nothing to do with it. They ain't even trying to hear that. Yo, I just came over here. Nigga, get down on the ground. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's getting laid the fuck down. So when they're going through on this raid on this building, everybody's getting laid down. Big Mama gonna get laid down. She gonna get put in handcuffs, everything. You know what I'm saying? They need to figure out what the fuck is going on in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing that a nigga could do in that situation, dog, is just, hey man, you know, just kind of be easy on the shit. You know, don't ask a lot of questions. Don't be, yo, what the fuck y'all got us out here? Da-da-da-da-da. They might let some of you niggas go if y'all niggas just cooperate. Hey man, look man, y'all ain't really gotta keep me in these cuffs, dog. I've been, motherfucker, could I smoke a cigarette at least? You know what, man? Let that motherfucker up out his cuffs, man. He good. You know what I'm saying? But stand right here, though. Don't be reaching in your pockets too much. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they got to do what they got to do, dog. You know what I mean? But anyway, let this keep going.
Because, I mean, in this country, we have rights against searches and illegal
you're suggesting
searches
these children
seizure.
should be effectively
We have
human shields
right-
for Trinidad Aragua. And I don't
No,
agree.
What I'm asking, hold on, I want to make it clear. I know that Trinidad Aragua and gangs and whatever, it's a catch-all to treat people however you want, to go in there and shred the Constitution or whatever else it is that you want to do. What I'm asking you is this. Do you think that children should have been zip-tied and pulled out of an apartment complex and traumatized like that? Yes or no?
I don't think children should be put in harm's way by transnational gangs.
Just answer the question. Yes or no? Do you think...
Why are you, listen, and this is what I mean. I forgot the dude's name. I think it's Van something. But dude he asking dumb questions like, bro, what do you mean? Do you think it was cool for the kids to be zip tied and shit like that? Like, bro, of course a motherfucker is not really gonna think that. But at the end of the day, and you know, the white man definitely try to divert and ask the question back. Well, do you think it's good for the Trinidad Aragua to kill him? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, they playing this weird ass game at the end of the day, but. Do I think it was cool to put them kids in zip tie? No, I would say that. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the point of the whole operation in general. The point of the operation is to get these niggas up out of there, send these motherfuckers back to where the fuck they came from, and terrorizing folks back where the fuck they came from and not American citizens. That's the whole purpose of this whole fucking raid and this ICE shit that's going on. You know what I'm saying? If your ass is illegal and your ass is out here committing crimes and terrorizing folks' neighborhoods and shit like that, these niggas need to be dealt with straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So, you know, this dude is a clown. You know what I'm saying? He's a straight bozo, weird ass nigga at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think it's cool for them to put kids in handcuffs? Huh? You think it's cool for them to put kids in zip ties? Huh? Well, that's not the point, you know what I'm saying? When they come and raid some shit, this would have been my answer to this dumbass nigga at the end of it. So in a raid, when they come raid some shit, they don't give a fuck if your grandma is goddamn 100 years old. Granny is getting in these goddamn handcuffs. Granny getting zip tied. Her and the walker is getting zip tied together, you know what I'm saying? Man, that's some bullshit. Y'all ain't have to zip tie my grandma and shit, dog. She got a walker and shit like that. Nigga, they zip tying Granny to the goddamn, she getting zip tied. You know what I'm saying? They gonna escort her ass about the crib. And Granny is gonna take a seat on the curb somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down.
Their children.
I don't accept the premise of your question.
I'm asking
the
you
government's not
whether or
putting
not,
children in harm's way. Trinidad Aragua.
Real calm now. Real calm. Like
they're the ones putting children in harm's way.
Gentlemen and gentlemen, we have a responsibility for the way we treat people with the power that we have here in America. And we have a standard that we should treat human life with. And I'm asking you very clearly, concisely, should children be treated that way? Does Scott Jennings like that?
I don't accept the premise of your question.
All right, cool.
I don't believe that the premise of your question is accurate. I would ask you back. Should children be allowed to live in an apartment building with Trinidad Aragua? Should the entire community of Chicago have to live with Trinidad Aragua because they hide behind these children?
But here's the thing.
That's my question.
I think the answer to that is clear. No, they should not be put in harm's way. But the difference is in this situation is I don't want to be Trinidad Aragua. I don't want my law enforcement to act like Trinidad Aragua. That is the distinction.
You don't want to leave it? Do you just want to leave it and say, well, they have kids in there, let's just move on?
No, but can't law enforcement figure out a way. I don't think this is the first time children have been in an environment where dangerous people have been around them. And I'm most certain that in most of those circumstances, those children aren't zip tied and carried out like.
What this bitch just say? Hold on.
Have been in an environment where dangerous people have. No,
Is that
but
what you wanna do?
can't law enforcement figure out a way? I don't think this is the first time children have been in an environment where dangerous people have been around them. And I'm most certain that in most of those circumstances, those children aren't zip tied and carried out like animals. What I am wondering is, okay, let's put this fact pattern on any other placement. Let's put it on a school, right? What if there was a gang member in a school? And by this calculation, it would seem like the children in the school, in order to get that one gang member or two gang members,
Handcuff the
would
whole
get.
biology
It's not
class.
one gang member. It's 37
Well,
people
let's say
in an apartment
there's
building.
Scott, it's a
five.
large apartment building. That's part of the fact pattern here. I mean, here's another one from our reporting. Tenants said it appears everyone in the building was detained by federal officers, including U.S. citizens. It was
All right, and like I said, at the end of the day, it's a fucking raid at the end of the day. So when they come through and they raid some shit based on what's going on with these dangerous gang members, okay, they're not coming. Listen, they don't know if y'all niggas cool with some of these niggas or not, know what I'm saying? Everybody's getting the smoke in that goddamn complex, period, know what I'm saying? Period, point blank, it is what it is. Is it unfortunate? May they have snatched your ass out the crib while you was motherfucker about to make you a goddamn pork chop sandwich or some shit like that, or you was cooking some goddamn collard greens, or you was just parlaying, talking to your homegirl on the phone, and the police came through and told your ass to get down on the ground and motherfucking escort your ass out the house. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it could have been inconvenience and everything. But at the end of the day, to get these gang members that they were going in there to get, they did their fucking job, okay? And that's what you want, because you don't want terror and shit running around through your goddamn neighborhoods and shit like that. You don't want that, you know what I'm saying? The minute these folks start thinking they get a little bit more power, they're going to start coming after y'all black asses any fucking way. So you next in line. You already the target for a lot of these immigrants coming over here and shit like that. They're in your community, they're in our community, and then they're looking to fucking step on your ass when they get there, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with it, you know what I'm saying? Trump, get all these niggas, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got no friends out this motherfucker, dog. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Get all these niggas, dog, you know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. But anyway.
Harry said one, because I had never had a gun in my face. That person lives in the building. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me, did I have any warrants? I told them, no, I didn't. Fisher, this person says, she was handcuffed anyway before being released around 3 a.m. and was told anyone with outstanding warrants, even if it was unrelated to immigration, would not be released. So
All right, so anyone with an outstanding warrant, okay? So if your ass got a warrant at the end of the day and they happen to snatch your ass up in that raid, that's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? I've been caught up like that before my damn self. I ain't even gonna sit up there and hold you, you know what I'm saying? I definitely been caught out on the warrant before. That should be definitely unfortunate. But the times that I thought that like I said, I literally had a warrant for I literally was on the run for 3 years and I didn't even know it. I mean, all in police face. I was working a job, everything, you know what I'm saying? Literally had a warrant for 3 whole fucking years, you know what I'm saying? And didn't know about it, you know what I'm saying? Until one night and, 3 years later, you know what I'm saying? It was what it was. But yeah, it's unfortunate, nigga get snatched up. It's unfortunate. In my situation, I was on my way back home, you know what I'm saying? And I got snatched up, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nigga, what warrant? Y'all niggas talking about, I'm sitting up here thinking about, like, how the fuck I had a warrant for 3 years and these niggas ain't never came to got me? Like, what kind of shit is this? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? But yes, you niggas with that had warrants, yes, your ass is going to jail for that shit. They killing 2 birds with 1 stone, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you should have took care of your goddamn warrant, fam. You know what I'm saying? So if your ass was on the run and they came through that day and you got bagged up, it's unfortunate, brother, or sister, you know what I'm saying? It's very unfortunate, you know what I mean? But to make that community safer, they had to do what they had to do, okay? But anyway.
Again, like
seriously.
people live in apartment buildings all over this country.
I promise that.
Is that where you should go?
Wait a second.
Should I just go to an apartment building and hide?
Wait. I'm talking about the way that citizen of this country was treated. By the way, I just want to be clear. I think that everybody that's created in the image of God should be treated with respect. And I thought that part of the American ideal was that, but that's gone. I promise y'all will still be invited to Mar-a-Lago if you say that it is wrong that children were zip-tied and that American people, American citizens, were detained without any warrant or suspicion.
Briefly detained? In an effort to get 37 Trinidad Aragua members?
So tell me.
What you're suggesting is that no enforcement
Like I said, the argument is getting dumber and dumber because, like I said, for those of y'all that have ever been involved in a raid, y'all know they don't give a fuck about accident. They come through and kick down doors, dog, and they not asking no questions. Everybody get on the fucking ground. Know what I'm saying? Or for any of y'all that ever robbed somebody before, know what I'm saying? Nigga, you don't care what the man name is. You coming through, hey man, let me get that shit up off you, dog. And if motherfucker tell you no, it's gonna be serious consequences behind that motherfucker not giving you what the fuck you asked for. Know what I'm saying? Hey man, empty out all your pockets, man. Give me everything in your. Oh, why I gotta do that? Know what I'm saying? That's enough said. Belt the ass, we whooping the ass, or we. You know, whatever it is we got to do to you. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you coming up off that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's the same way when it comes down to a raid. You know what I'm saying? They come through raiding shit, dog. They not asking, oh, what's your name? What nationality are you? Are you a part of this gang? Are you a part of it? No, not in no raid. Not in no raid. You know what I'm saying? This is not a fucking Jehovah's Witness coming to your fucking door and shit. You know what I'm saying? They coming through to stand on some business, and they dead serious. You know what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate, yes. Do I think that kids should be getting zipped up? No, I think they, a little extreme with that. But, like I said, at the end of the day, they go into a black neighborhood. Would they have did that shit maybe in the white neighborhood? Absolutely not. We gotta be honest about that. You know what I'm saying? We can be honest about that. If they went into the suburbs, some kind of a fucking apartment complex in the suburb, they're not making everybody, they're not laying, well, they probably still lay motherfuckers down, but they're not putting kids in no goddamn zip ties. You know what I'm saying? They might handle that situation a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? But, niggas is like one of the big boogeymans in America and shit. You can always blame a nigga for some shit. So at the end of the day, this is what they're going to do, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. Hey, man, I don't know that nigga goddamn, that nigga could have flew away, or he could have ran away or something. I wasn't going to catch that black motherfucker. They all good in athletics and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So I had to detain them babies, you know what I'm saying? They gonna make every excuse to get a nigga and shit. So I do agree with that part with this emotional ass nigga. But at the end of the day, listen, man, if Trump and the boys sent them niggas out there and crime is down after they send them out, the deportation movement is on the rise. I'm all for it. And then, like I said, it's freeing up space for the ancient American. You know what I'm saying? For your shit at the end of the day. So I don't have a problem with it in my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Would you be okay being detained so that the gang members, would you be okay with your rights being violated and you be held until 3 a.m. with your family member not knowing why? Is that okay? Because that's not okay with me.
Everybody here seems to believe that if you're Trinidad Aragua, you can go hide in an apartment building, and because there are other people there, you just get to be left alone. That is not a reasonable enforcement position.
Why this white woman ain't said nothing yet? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for this white woman to get up here and say something. Why is she acting like she ain't got shit to say? I want to see her make a goddamn fool of herself like they got all these niggas up here making a goddamn fool of themselves.
Another option here, and it's actually an option that's utilized by law enforcement every single day in this country. When they are looking for violent people, they go look for those violent people. They do not subject the people around those violent people who have nothing to do with...
Whoa. I know this is not a CNN talking point over here, because I could have sworn a couple years ago on October 7th, when something allegedly happened over there overseas, and a certain group of people did something to a certain group of people, and then these certain group of people decided that they can just bomb everything and everybody, innocent men, women, and children. Where is all this sympathy when it came for that? See, I ain't had that smoke for that, though. Y'all ain't had no smoke for that. You know what I'm saying? Just be consistent with your shit. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, CNN. Be consistent with your shit. So now, when it comes down to this situation going on in Chicago, we should be looking at it in that way. You know? Go after the group of people. But if Tell Like It Is TV get up there and said the shit that I said, all of a sudden I'm gonna have motherfuckers in my comment section trying to get my video blocked, trying to get my channel banned, trying to give me strikes and shit like that for saying, hey, look, shit, go after them group of people, them innocent people, you bombing schools and shit like that. What the fuck they got to do with that? You know what I'm saying? You motherfucking cutting supply off and shit like that to these folks, and y'all celebrating that shit. Y'all thinking that shit is funny. Y'all mocking these folks and shit, and they ain't had nothing to do with that. Them innocent people had nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? So keep that same energy, CNN. That's all I'm saying. Keep that same energy. Don't come over here with that fake ass shit. You know what I'm saying?
Them with arrest, with guns in their faces, with being searched, with being zip tied and handcuffed and detained.